We do have a few minutes for anyone who has questions. Yeah, Joy.
So I have millions, but I want to ask two quick ones. One is, what does this do, if anything, for the 50% of page views that don't come from the homepage, or is this a homepage tool? And the second is, how does it scale? I don't know if those numbers are concurrent viewers. Is that 4,500 concurrent users right now? Like, I'm at a site that has between 50 and 200 at a time. So does it scale down, or do you need a critical mass in order to make the generalizations?
So for us to make predictions, obviously on one click, I can't predict what the next click might be. So we need a certain volume. Our rule of thumb tends to be, if you make anything less than 500,000 something views in total on a monthly basis, you're not necessarily the best fit for us. That means that blog or what have you is not really for us. On the way up, we scale, obviously, what we believe is unlimited, but I'm sure people will tell me that's not the case in engineering. So it scales, I think, fairly well down. There's some penalties to that, and I think that's fair. So say Comcast, a customer of ours, run a test. They can run a test and conclude on it in 45 seconds, given their volume. They simply have enough data coming in for me to be able to conclude on it. If I'm Fast Company, it might actually take a little bit more time to conclude on that, given that I have lesser volume. And to answer your second question, it's certainly a tool for the homepage and the section fronts, but it's also a tool for any given content that really kind of comes in, where if you're being picked up by an aggregator, as we saw just before, you want to be notified. I can show you what the engagement is on that, and I can show you how long that window of opportunity might be, so you can go work the in-links, whether other tactics you might have.
I just switched over. Here's our sports section front, so you can see how that's doing.
Where you can certainly see that that's a quarter, I believe, no, almost an eighth of the volume of the homepage.
Here's our entertainment section front.
Any other questions?
Do you display this on a screen for the whole newsroom to see?
We have not, because our TVs that are up are not wired for internet, but because I saw OBTV the other day, we're going to try and get a TV now that's going to.
So we have this, and this is just a pet peeve of mine. So I think there's this idea. Google Chrome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I tried that the other day.
Yes.
Darn.
So I think there's this idea, and I'm certainly a fan of it, that if I take some of my data and I display it on a plasma screen, we're going to be slightly more data-driven. I actually buy into that. I don't buy into the idea that I'm going to take a dashboard, increase font size to 38, and put it on a plasma, and we're going to be a whole lot wiser. So what we've tried to do, and again, I'm not saying that's the correct answer, it's a try, is to build something which was meant for TV, to be consumed 40 feet away. And I think those are concepts like rewarding people. So I'm not sending an all-at email to the whole organization when one of our editors did a good test. I would like to reward him though, right? So we actually pick up anybody who's starting a test, they get their 15 seconds on the plasma. When the test concludes, there is a little kind of pat on the back saying, hey, Kevin ran a test, there was a 40% increase. And that's very kind of, I think, polite way of exposing activity. Or if there's a story trending, we put that up as well. So it's very much single data points, full screen. And that's something where I'm not sitting there consuming it, but I might just lean back and think about something else, and I'll consume and watch the TV for 2 minutes, and in that kind of moment, I might spot something. And that's how we would like to look at it in Chrome, as you can see.
I think we probably have time for one more question.
I'm just curious how this interplays with the CMS, different CMSs that different companies would have.
So we thought, being brutally honest, obviously, because I had the exit, so I'm not financially incentivized to say anything but the truth here. We thought that we might actually fail on the fact that we couldn't integrate with the CMS systems fast enough. What we found out, though, and I'd love to kind of pat myself on the back on good McKinsey strategy, which is not the case, was that not integrating with CMS was the best thing we ever did to begin with. Because some people at the Evening Standard or Le Monde or the Telegraph wanted to be very sure that we didn't touch the CMS or the site at all. You can speak to me. Don't bloody touch me. So that just worked extremely well. Then later on, once we've built that trust, you'll see some sites actually use us in a somewhat automated fashion, either to execute the recommendation, or you'll even see some of the properties have us run it, say a section front from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., simply because I don't have enough resources to staff that, and then we'll run that section front for them.
I think that's a great boon for small newspapers. If you're not staffed well with web editors on a weekend, and you have a tool like this that could help move things into position, yeah, it's great.